Tonight, one of hockey's biggest rivalries renew once again as Canada will face USA in the semifinals of the World Juniors. So I made an all-time Canada World Junior point leader team, as well as an all-time USA World Junior point leader team. I'm gonna put one in the East, one in the West, and we're gonna sim 3 seasons and see which one is the best. No rhyme intended. Rules are simple. We have Canada in the West and USA in the East, and whichever team does the best overall in the 3 seasons will be declared the winner. And obviously not every top point getter for both countries are in the game, so I had to use the ones that were available to me. End of year number 1, Canada would finish top of their division with 105 points, beating out the Winnipeg Jets by 1 point and the Colorado Avalanche by 2 points. They had a 49, 26, and 7 record, while Team USA would finish with 97 points for second in their division with a 42, 27, and 13 record, with the Toronto Maple Leafs taking top spot in that division. In terms of the entire league, it was actually the Carolina Hurricanes who finished first with 107 points. Canada finished second, and USA finished all the way down in 11th. Canada definitely has the advantage as they have this man, Wayne Gretzky, who finished with 105 points to lead his team, as well as leading it with 60 goals. And to put it in perspective, the closest to his goals was John Tavares with 23. Goalie-wise, they have Carey Price and Fleury, Price being a 70 overall in the game, so that's pretty tough. They did get 10 wins in 17 games played, 2 shutouts at 909 save percentage and 2.61 goals against average, so not bad. And Fleury, 39 wins in 69 games played, 3 shutouts at 905 save percentage and a 2.76 goals against average. As for Team USA, Mike Modano would lead their team with 82 points, as well as leading in goals with 29. John Gibson would win 31 of his 65 games played. He'd have 4 shutouts, a 900 save percentage, and a 3.08 goals against average, so not the best stats. And Campbell only winning half of his games, 11 out of 22 played, 2 shutouts, a 923 save percentage, 2.25 goals against average. He low-key looks like he should be starting. In terms of the entire league, unsurprisingly, Wayne Gretzky is leading the way in points with 105, as well as in goals with 60, the closest being Matthews with 44. First round of the playoffs, we have Canada versus the Dallas Stars and Team USA versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. Canada would struggle but would manage to beat the Dallas Stars in 6 games, while unfortunately Team USA would get swept by the Tampa Bay Lightning. Moving on, we face the Winnipeg Jets in round number 2. This time Canada wins in 5 games, no problem. They move on to the conference finals to face the Anaheim Ducks. I don't really know how the Anaheim Ducks are here, but they are. We're gonna beat them no problem, I'm assuming. So much for no problem. Game 7 against the Anaheim Ducks, they somehow forced us here. They beat us 7-3, then 7-2. I don't even understand. Game 7, bang, it's a 3-2 overtime win. We are moving on to the Stanley Cup Finals to face the Carolina Hurricanes. Sadly, that's where our playoff journey would end. We would not be raising the cup as the Carolina Hurricanes beat us 4-1, but I think Canada did slightly better than USA in the first season. Once again, Wayne Gretzky helping just a little bit, 29 points to lead the way, as well as leading the way in goals with 14. A bunch of people had 6, Tavares, Huberdeau, Lindros, Schenn, but no one was even close to Gretzky. 13 wins, 3 shutouts, a 914 save percentage, and a 2.57 goals against average. We tried playing Price a couple times, did not work at all. 875 save percentage, 4.28 goals against average. And obviously not much to look at in terms of playoff stats for Team USA, as they didn't make it far at all, losing in 4 games, but 2 points for Kessel, Zegras, Eric Johnson, and Mike Modano led their team there. And a bunch of people had 1 goal. John Gibson selling once again. They really should play Jack Campbell. No wins, an 872 save percentage, and a 4.29 goals against average. Freddie Anderson was the best goalie of the playoffs, getting the 16 wins and the cup, having 3 shutouts, a 931 save percentage, and a 1.97 goals against average. Unsurprisingly, Gretzky led in points with 29, but it was a really close battle in terms of goals. He did lead with 14, but Svechnikov was right behind him with 13. We look at awards, Gretzky got the Art Ross and the Hart Memorial Trophy. Josie got the James Norris. Lady Bing goes to Gretzky as well. Bedard gets the Calder. Svechnikov gets the Conn Smythe. Vasilevsky gets the Vezina and the William M. Jennings. Bill Masterton goes to White Cloud. Frank J. Selke goes to Barkov. Ted Lindsay goes to Gretzky. Maurice Richard goes to Gretzky. Year number 2 finds Canada at the top of their division with a 52, 23, and 7 record, earning 111 points. While Team USA settles for 3rd, earning 95 points with a 44, 31, and 7 record, being beaten out by the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Boston Bruins. In terms of the entire league, Canada is first, and Team USA just cracks the top 10. But hey, it's 1 position better than last year. I don't even have to tell you this, but Wayne Gretzky led the team in points with 99 and in goals with 56. The closest to him was once again John Tavares, this time with 29. Eric Lindros is keeping up in the points department, only being 5 behind. But I mean, Gretzky's just dominating. In terms of goalies, Fleury had 41 wins and 65 games played, 1 shutout, an 899 save percentage, and a 2.92 goals against average. So not really the best stats, but he did win a lot. And Carey Price had 11 wins, 0 shutouts, a 902 save percentage, and a 2.94 goals against average. Modano once again leading the way for Team USA. He had 76 points this time around, but the goal scoring leader would actually be Phil Kessel, who dropped 28 goals. In terms of goalies, John Gibson had 38 wins in 69 games played, 5 shutouts, a 906 save percentage, a 2.74 goals against average, while Jack Campbell struggled in the backup position, 6 wins in 17 games played, with an 895 save percentage and a 3.21 goals against average. Robin Lehner leading the way in wins with 42, only had 1 shutout and a 908 save percentage and a 2.84 goals against average, so not necessarily the best stats, but he did have the most wins in the league. Gretzky did end up being top in the league in points with his 99. Marchand was right behind him at 97. Gretzky did not win the Maurice Richard. He did not have the most goals in the league, as Alex Ovechkin would beat him out by 1 goal with 57. So Canada will be facing the LA Kings in the first round, while Team USA is facing Tampa Bay once again. I feel like the playoff matchups are just not fair. Well, this is kind of heartbreaking. Team USA is eliminated once again in the first round by Tampa. They put up a way better fight this time around, only losing in 6 games. The heartbreaking part is the fact they lost 1-0 in Game 5 and in Game 6. Every single game in this series was a 1-goal game, which is crazy. Either way, Canada does beat the LA Kings in the first round in 6 games. Canada would also sweep the Nashville Predators in the second round, no problem, move on to the conference finals where they face the Calgary Flames. The Flames don't put up much of a fight either, as Canada beats them in 5 games. And the team that beat Team USA would find themselves in the finals, the Tampa Bay Lightning versus Team Canada for the Stanley Cup. This time, Canada does secure the Stanley Cup, but beating out the Tampa Bay Lightning in 4 games, completing the sweep. New man in charge in terms of points for the first time for Team Canada. 30 points for Eric Lindros led them in the playoffs. Gretzky right behind him with 28, but it would be Gretzky once again leading in goals with 16. Fleury would play every single playoff game, playing amazing, 1 shutout, a 928 save percentage, and a 2.10 goals against average. In terms of Team USA, nothing great to look at once again. They did play a couple more games. Zegras and Modano both had 5 points to lead their team. That would be Trevor Zegras being the sole leader in goals with 3. John Gibson played lights out. I mean, what more can you ask from him? I don't even know how they lost, honestly. A 941 save percentage and a 1.81 goals against average for 2 wins. Is kind of rugged. Obviously, Fleury being the top goalie in the league. Lindros leading the way in playoff points as well. So Team Canada just cleaning house, as Gretzky would lead in goals as well. And awards, I don't really have to look. It was Marchand who took the Hart Memorial Trophy this time around. Art Ross going to Gretzky, obviously. James Norris to Fox. Lady Bing to Gretzky again. Bedard gets the Calder because I'm technically doing the same season. He's just going to win it every time. Eric Lindros wins the Conn Smythe. Vezina goes to Vasilevsky. William M. Jennings goes to Borowski. Ryan Graves gets the Bill Masterton. Frank J. Selke goes to Barkov again. Ted Lindsay goes to Marchand. And then Maurice Richard goes to Ovi. For the third and final season, I decided to spice it up a bit. I did put Canada in the Eastern Conference. They did finish top of the Atlantic Division. 108 points, a 52, 26, and 4 record. Team USA finishing with 99 points, a 43, 26, and 13 record. Good enough for 4th in the Central Division. In terms of the entire league, Team USA would have their best finish yet in 7th, while Team Canada would finish 1st overall once again. Wayne Gretzky finishing top of the team with 97 points. Huberdeau and Lindros being right behind him at 94. No one's ever touching him in terms of goals, at least in the regular season. 52 goals for Gretzky. The closest was Tavares once again with 27. Fleury won 40 games of his 69 games played, 3 shutouts, a 902 save percentage, and a 3.01 goals against average, while Price had 12 wins in 16 games played, the 70 overall, dominating with a 925 save percentage and a 2.15 goals against average. John Gibson had 38 wins in 70 games played, 5 shutouts, a 918 save percentage, 2.45 goals against average, where Jack Campbell struggled with 5 wins in 16 games played, an 884 save percentage, and a 3.44 goals against average with no shutouts. And a different face on top this time around, Jeremy Roenick with 74 points. Leading the way for Team USA, it would be a tie in goals between him and Kessel, both of them having 26. Canada's first round playoff opponents would be the Detroit Red Wings. Team USA would face the Edmonton Oilers. Apparently they're trying really hard to sweep. They don't get it done, but they do win their first playoff series of the video with a 4-1 series win over Edmonton. Canada would also win their series in 5 games, beating Detroit. Canada facing Florida in their second round, while Team USA is facing Calgary in their second round. I guess the West is better after all, because Team USA would beat Calgary in 6 games to move on to the conference finals, while Team Canada would lose 4-2 to the Florida Panthers, and they are eliminated. Let's see what happens here. The Colorado Avalanche in the conference finals for Team USA. Well, it's not looking good. They're down 3-0. If they can reverse sweep Colorado and win the cup, maybe they deserve it. They win 4-3. They win 1-0. They're doing it slowly but surely. 7-2 win. Hold up. And they lose. They blow it in game 7. A 5-2 loss to Colorado. Colorado versus Columbus in the Stanley Cup Finals. That's actually gross. More gross is the fact that Columbus won 4-2, so they will be lifting the Stanley Cup somehow, some way. Jeremy Roenick led the way for Team USA in playoff points with 21, while it was Keith Tkachuk who led the way in goals with 11. John Gibson, a .907 save percentage and a 2.84 goals against average for 1 shutout, winning 11 games and 18 played. Jack Campbell eating a fat L in .866 save percentage, a 2.71 goals against average in his 1 game played. While Gretzky struggled, which ultimately proved how carried Team Canada was by him, Tavares 12 points, Lindros 12 points, both leading the way. It will be John Tavares with 6 goals, leading the way in that category. I mean, Fleury played lights out, really. 931 save percentage, 2.07 goals against average, only getting 6 wins. That kind of hurts. But in the end, Rantanen and McKinnon would lead the way in playoff points with 30, the closest being Landeskog with 24. And somehow this team didn't win the Stanley Cup, may I add. Now that I see they did play 27 games, and Goodrow only playing 22 games at 22 points. And Elvis Merzlikins playing really dang good, 1 shutout, a .926 save percentage, a 2.30 goals against average, obviously 16 wins to lift the Stanley Cup. Well, I think it's safe to say that Team Canada are your winners of this challenge. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.